She say, he say, he roll. How that sound and he still talking.
What up, everybody? It is He Say She Say
Radio.
With episode number
Yes.
DSA.
No, DAs, period.
Yes, that's all you gotta say.
DAs, he about to say those, and that's two. Just,
Right.
Just stick to English. This is, episode number 10.
I'm gonna do French next time.
Oh, no.
It is your boy Solomon.
What up, y'all? It's Siobhan J.
It's your boy MJ.
It's Uncle Kill.
Hey y'all, it's Jordan.
And I'm Shadea.
And we have a packed show for you today with wonderful topics and a lot of amusing conversations.
Thanks.
But y'all know how it goes. I'll start you off with our news peak of the week. Now, I know you all heard about this, but remember that juror, I don't know how you say it, but the guy on the jury, he overslept, right? So his name was DeAndre Somerville. So he was sentenced to 10 days in jail because he overslept for jury duty. Now, for me, I'm like, that. First of all, that's wild because it's like, man, like a lot of people are thinking of it like this man didn't even do nothing. He just overslept. But I don't know. What are y'all thoughts on that? Because I do know there are consequences when you miss jury duty. So I don't know. 10 days for this young black man. What do we think?
I think that was a little bit too harsh for oversleeping. I mean, I feel like being on the jury is a responsibility, and if something like that was to happen, yes, I feel like some consequences should be enforced, but not jail. Like,
For 10 days.
Just some community
I thought
service.
maybe some community service or a little fine. That fine they gave him was a little too much.
How much
to
was
me.
it?
Yeah,
like
he had
200
to-
and something, I think.
He had to do community service on top of the jail
Yeah.
time and
And a
pay the
fine.
fine.
I
I
Right.
think all it is, they're making an example out of him. At the end of the
Really?
day,
Making
that's
an example
exactly
out
what
of
they're
him.
doing. And
Out
I
of
feel
him.
bad because
out of him.
any of us could have jury duty.
Him, this dude, that color, him.
Did
I'm
you see
pretty
what the
sure.
judge said or why he did it? He said because the dude, he was one of the only black jurors that they had.
He was the only, I think.
The only black
He was
juror,
the
so
only,
they
yeah.
needed some diversity within the jury. But at the same time, come on, at first he got community service, a year probation,
Yeah, I forgot
$250
that.
fine,
A year probation.
and
what?
10 days jail
For that.
For that.
For missing jury duty.
Come on now.
Yeah,
'Cause
that.
you look
Dude
at
got a
it-
job. It ain't like he was just chilling at home and was like, oh, I'm just not gonna go. I'm gonna just chill. He went to work that day.
Because I feel like every voice matters of the jury,
Right.
Yeah.
whether it's black, white, whatever. But if he was the only black person, why was he the only black person?
Well, I mean, they do that. They want some diversity just because you never know the person on the stand could
That's
be.
die. That ain't
Yeah, that's
diversity.
not no types of
That's a
song.
die.
I understand that.
That's one.
I just think like if he was gonna get in trouble, obviously if you miss jury duty, you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Right?
But nobody gets that.
A little
But he was
verbal
late.
warning or
He
something?
showed
No, he didn't
up.
go. He ended up going to
overslept.
what's
He
his
never
name?
went?
He ended up going to work.
Because
He
So
woke up and noticed he was late.
wait.
He noticed
We
he was
punishing
late.
people for going to work after they
That's
missed
And-
jury
but the
duty.
judge also said that it was because they had to postpone that trial for 45 minutes, waiting on him,
He never
and
came.
he never came. So it pushed back
Everybody
at the end of the
else's.
day, come on,
Which
like,
is
that's way too
understandable.
much.
Oh, I
But-
thought he was late.
Nah, he just didn't.
he
He
didn't
woke
go at all.
up late,
Slept
and then
and
it was
didn't
just
go.
like,
I
I'm
mean, I
just
still
gonna
think
work.
that's bogus, them consequences, but still, I get
Yeah,
it.
still.
I feel like
Or
they
some
should pay
community
people to go
service.
to jury duty.
Did you
And
take
if
time
you
out of
don't
your
want to
day?
go, then you don't have to go.
Oh, you don't get paid for jury duty?
No,
I don't think so. I
that's
think the
volunteer
only
work.
thing you do is get like an excused absence from work or something like that. I don't think you get paid to go.
Yeah. And then normally
That's a
if
good
you
thing, though.
normally if you can't attend, you have like a certain amount of time to put in like to get like passed over kind of, because I know I received a jury duty in the mail and I had to go all the way to Houston, and I was like, look, I'm a student.
Oh yeah, you.
It sends it back to your wherever you like
from.
yeah, your
that's
residency.
That's the crazy part because I didn't have like 4 or 5 different addresses in the past 2 years, so I'm sure I got some jury duty mail through the house.
Yeah, my address has
At
changed.
this point, it's a
I
warrant.
don't even know how to
Yeah.
get
But
jury
aren't
duty.
there like stipulations like you can't get them if maybe you're like still in school, if you're
Yeah.
under a certain age?
And
Still in
if you have a
school,
felony-
pregnant. Yeah, it's a few things, but you have to go online and like submit that. So
I want to go
That's
to
too
one.
harsh. That was too harsh of a punishment.
I go to
It-
sleep.
all in all, it was. It was. Probation, come on now, that's a
10
little
days.
much. Like, what did I do to get probation to have somebody watching me constantly?
Guilty. I can't wait to
Man,
do
it get
it.
to a point where he just probably he pulling stuff to charge him for. Oh yeah, you overslept. we had to postpone it because you didn't come, and
Did nobody call them? Because maybe they should have done that.
Right. Y'all have
Are
the
you
number.
still coming, sir?
all right.
I ain't even gonna lie, because 9 times out of 10, it was a number he probably ain't recognized on the phone.
I don't answer the same numbers.
Probably said scam likely.
Oh man.
Yeah, likely.
Oh yeah, it
That's
does.
a good
Yeah, nah, they get it next week.
I don't answer that.
I do think it was definitely set up to be an example. As much as it was the news, the all on social media, like it was too much. I'm pretty sure there's been plenty of people that have missed jury duty, but because this was a young black man at that, with this type of punishment, it was. I feel like that was a little bit too much. So.
I get pissed off from people always saying, "Oh, y'all trying to make it a race thing, But why is it continuously happening to black people?
Like, we never seen this happen
Yeah,
to.
like-
We have not heard of no white man,
Getting arrested.
young man getting arrested for that.
10 days in jail. a
Or
fine,
why is this
and a
being
year probation.
blasted?
Yeah, all of those. See, I understand maybe they give him the fine, like you were saying, but all of those stipulations, like, come on.
Imagine you got
Definitely
probation
fine.
on your record for missing jury duty. Like, I
Oh.
would be so mad.
Imagine having to sit
Really?
10 days in a
But
jail
check this
cell.
though.
And he said
Check
it was
this.
so
It's another
horrible.
Eating
clause in it,
sandwiches
too.
and crackers. And
The judge said he would take away all that and just keep the fine, right? But he got to come every week to come talk to potential jurors and tell them the importance of not missing jury duty.
I would do that.
oh, so now we're in school.
First
Take
of
the-
all, you got me messed up if you think I'm gonna come every week.
So now,
I gotta work.
so now we're in court
Tell
detention
people-
and shit.
Just
No,
give me the
that.
fine.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Because the fine is already high.
But he
Be
said,
like,
I thought you just said he would keep the fine and he just had to do that.
Yeah, he'll keep the fine, but he wouldn't have jail time. He wouldn't do probation.
But he just
You
got
have
to
to
come
come
every
every
week.
And he
to
didn't
talk.
want to do that, or?
I think that's what he ended up
going
gonna
to
do.
Oh,
And
okay.
He ended up doing because I guess the judge finally thought, you know what,
That
Just
was
a little
too
much.
I mean,
yeah, basically.
so was the other stuff taken off his record, or do we
Who
know?
knows?
I don't know.
They need to do an
Hopefully
update
so.
on that.
Got to get that in sign and get that
Judge,
on
you
the
said
paper.
what?
I hope
So
So
not.
I'm good if I just come give these sessions.
Right?
That's
Do a little
still
5
doing too
minutes,
much,
10
though,
minutes.
like-
That's-
I have to work.
How do you even talk about that?
What else do you say
What
after
can you-
don't oversleep?
Yeah, like,
They'll give you these
hope
consequences.
y'all make it.
Jordan said, "This is my
I
story."
could have went to jail
Yeah.
for 10 days.
Set some alarms. You know, like, I don't know.
Who knows? But he definitely sat in there and he said, "I don't ever want to do that again." I was like, "Wow, like that's I don't want anybody to ever have to experience that when they don't have to." So that was definitely something crucial. But hope he can get past it. All in all,
Yeah, all in all, let's get out that BS.
don't oversleep, people. Don't do it.
So the question that has been on my mind for a while, for for a lot of different people.
Oh no.
Speak on it.
I just want to know what are y'all thoughts as far as people who you do a lot of stuff for. You know, they don't necessarily have to ask you to do it. You just do it, you know, because that's the person you are, and they don't really show their appreciation, but they tell you verbally that they appreciate you, and the actions do not.
Sometimes they don't even do that.
What would the showing be?
Yeah, that's what
I mean, because my
Pitching
thing is this. I look at it as everybody's not capable of doing the same thing to you as you can do to them. So,
Right.
like, for instance, if, let's say you have a friend, girlfriend, whatever, and you give her $40, $50 a week just because you know she probably need it, he probably need it, whatever. That can't do that to you. So, I'm not saying in that instance, but some
Like,
type
it don't have
of-
to be an even exchange.
Yeah, it don't have to be an
But it has to
even
be something.
Something like
So maybe he like goes wash your car, pick you up some
Anything.
flowers, something like that. You think?
Yeah.
something, even the small.
take
That's why I
me
say the
out.
smallest things probably would, you know, to somebody.
I
who-
feel like that would make me definitely not want to do something with somebody. But what I will say, when you talk about this subject, I feel like a lot of people's minds would go straight towards like showing their appreciation out loud to other people for what you do for them. Like a lot of people would think, oh well, like my significant other like don't ever post me or nothing, or they don't do this, they don't do that to show everybody else what I do for them.
Right.
At the end of the day, maybe just saying, you know what, I appreciate you. Maybe that's all they could do.
I feel well
So
with,
you
with the
know.
social media stuff going on these days. I feel like a lot of people clarification comes from that. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
I
he
think
brought
validation
me.
comes from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say clarification. It's more so I got posted, everybody can see.
So I'm
care
good.
about that.
Appreciated.
I don't either, but-
Like
We
yeah.
know it's up type
But
shit.
I'm a low key person, so I don't like people know who I'm with. So there's that. So
Definitely
I can't
understandable.
relate to people who want to be posted.
Yeah.
Well,
You're not getting posted.
that's
Oh
true.
no, a month in, 365 days. That's when everybody's gonna know. At that point,
Maybe not even that. You're just not.
You might
getting
kiss. You
posted.
might
be-
catch on
You
a
get
story
that
or
little
something.
handheld story, but that's
hand
it.
is that?
Boomerang,
No
yeah.
faces,
Catch a
no
little boomerang.
bad. And it's real quick.
But then I think, yeah, well,
And all you see is a hand at the dinner table, you know.
Neil,
they should have tattoos.
I trying to hold it.
Good. 2 meals. Whoa.
who on your leg? Oh,
Oh man, you gonna see 2 meals. That's it.
I know a few
You just
guys
know
that
somebody
need to
here.
Make sure they have on some long sleeves, cover up their tattoos, because that's a star.
that's what's
I
his
know
name?
him. But
Trying
no,
to
like
figure it out.
in all seriousness, though, I feel like a lot of people feel like posting is validation because a lot of people have been through situations where nobody ever posts each other and this and that, and then that person is living like a whole nother life, and it's like nobody knows, like oh, he got a girlfriend. I never knew that. Why? Because he never posted, he never put it out there, he never talked about it. So it's like if you put that out there, it's kind of like a gimme. It's kind of like
I
a
see where
gimme
you're coming from.
that okay, well, he posted me so people know about me versus he never put me out there to begin with. So
But
now,
he's still showing you what you need to see,
he's
so
showing you
that's
what I need to see.
appreciation.
But at the same time, I think it's that, well, who's to say he don't have this going on over here? Because he's never put me out there.
And that's people's problem. You can't think like that. You have to know what's going on in your relationship or friendship, whatever the case is. And that social media validation, that's not it.
I feel like
need to
you're
just
right
know.
about that, but if you've been through it, you do have a choice.
You need to work on yourself.
If you've been through it.
So back to like the question. I think it's a 50-50 thing. No matter what you're giving, and cool, maybe I can give more than you, but if you're giving your 50%, then it's equal. But if it's more so like I'm giving 95 and your 5% is, oh, thank you for that. When that energy is not reciprocated, that person that's giving more gets drained. You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, I'm giving you all of this stuff. I'm always filling your cup up. You're never filling mine up, and I'm empty.
And then on top of that, like I said, I know a lot of people can't give you what you give them.
Right.
But if I know what you can give me and you're not even attempting to
Right.
do that,
Oh, yeah,
that's
it's
where
That's different.
That's a good point,
difference.
huh?
That's what
Oh yeah, you gotta get out.
Yeah, because of course,
Get
if
out.
I can go buy you this, I know you can't buy me that. I don't need it to be equal, but I need you for what I know that you can do. I need you to do that.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
That's why
And I
was
think
going.
like one thing people have to be careful of, there's certain people who do things for you just so to hold it over your head.
Yeah, that.
You
Just to
know,
get a
they
thanks.
come back, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did this for you.
Oh,
know.
you remember
Oh,
when
I hate that.
Right.
You can't do this for me, and I didn't do that. Get out of the house.
But remember when
Right.
I paid you, I'm like, you know what? Bet. Take it, and
Yeah.
I don't need
Because
you
even
no more.
from me, when you know, it ain't coming from a
Coming from your
That's
heart.
that's a good point because I feel like I said, a lot of people want you to express your appreciation towards them out loud compared to if Kelvin do something for me and I say, thank you, Kelvin. Kelvin not expecting me to go on the TL and Kelvin just loaned me $100. But it's some people
was
in this
love.
world
Yeah, that want that.
Dang.
And
You
you
out here
ain't
doing
told
this again,
nobody?
but you ain't told nobody when I gave you that 50. Like,
Put you on an expiration
I
date
told you
of,
thank you. That's all you needed.
Yeah. That's why
You gotta
I
tell me
tell
thank
people
you
all the
every
time,
day.
if I do something for you, I'm doing it because I want to. I don't
yeah.
need no trophy, no ceremony. I don't need none of that for you to show me that you appreciate me.
Right.
But if it's a person that you continuously reaching out to, helping out, this and that, if I know what you can give me and you don't even try to give me a little bit of that, that's the problem that I have.
Right.
if that person is really like for you, that person will always find a way to kind of, give what you gave to them back. I believe
Some kind of
life,
way.
yeah, in some kind of way. I believe life is pretty much a circle. So everything is about reciprocation. So if I give you something, I'm not expecting nothing in return, but I know it's gonna come back due
In
to
some
the fact
way.
that I stand on everything works in a full circle some way somehow. even if it doesn't come from you, it's gonna come back to me some way, somehow. And if we truly connected to each other, then I know that eventually you're gonna be able or be capable of pretty much giving me what I gave you.
Yeah.
And
So
I
it's
think
all
that's
about
a
the
good.
connection.
I think that's a good point too. It's just like whenever you know, everybody had that time where they didn't have a car, right? And you know you needed to go somewhere, so you would. Yeah, no, but for real, like even them high school days, you don't have a car, and you would ask people for rides. But I feel like when the appreciation comes into play, I can't, paying for gas, of course, but like, we stop somewhere, you hungry, something like that, and for me, it's like when I got my car, I'm like, you need a ride, I got you, because you done drove me like all of junior year or something like that. So it's kind of like that. So it comes around. I feel what you're saying with that.
Yeah, it gotta be reciprocated, because
Very much so.
if it's not, then you got to go, and I gotta stop what I'm doing, or you gotta stop what you doing if that's in your situation. Or
Wasted
whatever.
It's
energy.
draining.
So how do you have a conversation with somebody like that's not giving you their back, like not reciprocating your energy?
Well, that's why I say when you got to pay attention to that person. You got to actually know that person to know what they are possible, or know their capabilities of what they can do. So, like if I'm with you and I know you can do this much right here, and you're not trying to do that at all, then that's when we sit down and it's like, hey, bro, like I know that you can kind of do this right here, like. Or first off, you can start off with asking the question, do you appreciate me? And then, of course, what you mean?
Of course I appreciate
Of course,
you.
yeah. Why you ask me that? Well, I know what you can do for me, and I don't see it. I don't even see a little bit of it.
Right.
Then at that point, that's when you get whatever they got from you, and then you detect that, whether it's BS, what's coming out of their mouth or not.
Exactly. You really just need to tell them straight up, look, I'm giving too much to you.
Right.
And I'm not receiving anything back. So we have to get things settled, right? You got to do something.
Something gotta give.
You got to do something for me.
Right.
Because I'm giving too much to you and I'm running dry.
Right.
You have everything that I have left to give. So there's no reason for you to be empty. Shit, you got what I got.
Yeah.
You got all
got
of
I
me.
ain't getting nothing in return.
Yeah,
True.
I'm on 0. You on 100.
Yeah.
You lying and telling me that you don't have nothing else. You don't have nothing else to offer when I done gave you everything that I could give you.
Then
Now
on top
either
of
you
that,
lying
I'm giving you some extra.
or you don't like
that
me.
I
For
didn't
the
really
love.
have to give, but
They
I
like
gave
it
you a
like
little
that.
extra that you really didn't need at the time. So what's wrong with you giving me that extra back that you didn't even need?
Exactly. They lying. They don't
Then
really
that
like
becomes
you.
greed.
They giving it
at
to
that
somebody
point.
else.
Oh,
And
my
that's not a
God.
person you wanna be
They
with. That's
giving
not a
us-
person you want to be friends with. 'Cause
Right.
Agreed.
I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I got a homeboy, right?
He listening.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no specific names, but it goes
We all
back.
got that.
I got this homeboy, right?
Go back.
I used to go with my homeboy every morning to school one day. Every morning to school, every day, right? And I used to like take him back and forth to school with me, go pick him up from track practice, all this. And then one day, like, we went to the donut shop in the morning. All right, now mind you, every single day
You need to be buying you some
I
donuts.
took him to school and went home and then came back to school to pick him up.
You was real.
To take him back to the house. I asked him to buy me some donuts. He came back with one little sausage thing.
Oh, so you ain't got no money.
But check this, it was another person in the car too. He done got him 2 bags of the donut holes. And I'm like, hold on, wait, because I done poured out a lot. Right?
Every day.
Gas, I ain't ask you for no gas money, none of that. But then when I asked for a donut, I ain't got it. But you can give it to this person.
Who not even driving.
Interesting.
Make
So
it
they
make
take
sense
it-
because it
Now
don't.
I know I need to stop this. I'm going straight
Find
to school
another
from
ride.
now on. Yeah, and straight home and not leaving.
Right.
Then at that point, he got to be mature enough to understand that it's not no hard feelings. It's just
Just I can see what you don't appreciate.
Right.
yeah.
You don't
Exactly.
appreciate what I do for you. I have to stop now because if I don't, I'm gonna end up getting mad because I know you're not the type of person to reciprocate that.
And a lot of people think you're being funny once you're, doing,
You stop.
and then you stop because you see that what they can potentially do for you, they're not doing. Now you look like the bad guy because it's like, okay, why you doing me like that? Well, you shouldn't have did me the way you were doing me because you
Right.
wasn't doing nothing but taking everything that I had for you and you just being greedy with it.
That's why you got to
And then
cut that off,
they'll
like
make-
MJ said.
They'll make it a habit. So whatever you give them, they'll be always looking up to you for that specific thing. So now now they're pretty much what's
Like
the
you're
word for it?
required to do it.
Exactly. Like I'm
Man, they so
required
used
to.
Especially if
You
they
doing
are
it.
friends.
Oh,
They-
friends are the worst. Friends, I think it's more friends that have expectations of what you're supposed to be doing for them than a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
Right.
Because friends,
yeah.
usually
It's
you've
really-
been knowing them for longer. They used to you doing certain things for them. So now they like, oh, he gonna do that anyway. Like, oh, that's just, I know his personality. If he got some money, we got some money. Like,
Right.
no,
That's
it
why
don't
a
work
couple
like
years
that.
ago, I was getting me used to me saying this, doing this. Yeah, get used to me saying no.
And that's what you got to do sometimes. I'm really that friend. I help you out for a good amount, like a little bit of time, but at some point, no, I'm not finna, especially if I'm already in my bed or if I'm just chilling, whatever. Nope.
I don't even answer
You
the
need to run
phone
errands.
no
You
more.
better check when
I
I'm
let
going.
the phone ring.
I would look
Or
at
something like that.
if it's really important, you'll text
I got-
me.
Right.
But other than that, I'm not answering the phone because I know it's a favor.
Definitely.
Especially if you ain't giving up
You
gas.
don't tip.
If you-
Not
You're not giving me no extra.
Right? Like, you still on the
That's a word for anybody who listening to the show.
Ooh, say it again.
Me and MJ said,
I'm telling you.
if you're not gonna give us no extra, hey, don't ask if I got a spot open for you.
You can get me in today? No.
No.
Absolutely not.
That's an expectation. You thinking because I'm your friend, you finna just, I'm going to get in today. No, it don't work like that. And yes, you're going to have to pay more if you do want to get in. No, it don't. I don't
Yeah,
care no
people
more.
got to
Hey,
understand
you heard
that.
it here first.
I'm tired of it.
Oh, you on Twitter and I caught, well, this is the phone bill that I do pay.
Right, okay.
So I'm kind
And
of, yeah.
I am
My
on
phone.
Twitter.
I ask whatever I want.
I answer whoever.
God, I will look at your name, put my phone right in my pocket.
I got it all the time. I'm not ignoring your
So let
calls.
my
I
phone
just didn't
take
want to
pictures
answer.
of
That's how you know when
looking
somebody
at it.
expects
my
something. They'll
pictures be
text
just
you and
like
be
this.
like, you didn't see me call you?
What?
I am
You
sleep.
called.
Yeah, I see you call me. I watched it. I heard it. I was singing along with the ringtone.
And it's no hard feelings. Just be
Oh, at all.
appreciative.
That's
it's
why I want.
Oh, it's
a lot
all
of people
love,
to
but hey.
understand.
Yeah,
When
really.
Somebody stops doing something for you because of what you, because of the mannerism you're behaving in. Don't think they being funny. Just take it for what it is and
Yeah.
fix your end so that end can maybe
take it with a
come
grain
back
of
one
salt.
day.
Yeah. Right. I feel that.
And that's that. It's the real. He say, she say. You know the deal.
Okay.
All right.
skills,
so
yeah.
for my
Bars.
All
Ridiculous.
right, y'all. So for my question is, do y'all trust the media as far as like the news, the people in the media? Like, how real do you think this is?
It'd be a whole lot of cap.
I think, yeah, it's I would say it's like a 50-50 thing. Some of the stuff, it'd be accurate information, but some of it is like people's biases, personal opinions, and it's just on some,
Something that can make them some money.
yeah,
real fast.
I
It's
just,
hard, especially like when it comes to politics.
that.
I don't know what to believe because I went there.
And then people were like, well, you know, if you watch news, you do your research. How I'm going to do my research is everybody saying.
It's two different
Everybody got their
sides to the story.
Right.
I don't know which one I want to believe, especially like for instance, and don't get me wrong, I'm nowhere near a Trump supporter, but I didn't heard people say, yeah,
Disclaimer.
they be taking certain clips out of what Trump say and putting that together and making it sound like he said that, but I don't know if they did that or not. I don't
yeah.
know what to trust.
And if they do, who cares? Because they do that with everybody.
Exactly.
Like, it's not just Donald Trump or, the highest, whoever. It's like a lot of people do that. They mix and match this to make it seem like this. Just like it's
Headlines.
headlines. It's to get, like, okay, when you go on YouTube, you might see something where you like, oh, shit, that's gonna happen. Let me watch that real
And
quick.
it don't got nothing to do with the
And
headline.
nothing like that happens. But they got that view.
Mm-hmm.
They got that view. So it's just like, let me put something out there where it's eye catching, and let's see what people do with it.
They do it for clickbait.
But I don't think everything. Everything is not
It has to
real. I don't think everything is important that goes on social media.
A lot of it is not.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, go ahead. I would say from a broadcast major perspective,
Oh,
like, I understand where y'all coming from because it's true. I definitely think that the media is corrupt simply because we learn what we're supposed to learn in school, right? We know what's like unethical, things like that. We learn all these things and what not to do. But I feel like when some people learn these things and then they fall into the institution of some of these companies, with the biasness and all of this different stuff, because whenever I watch the news, whenever I can, I'm just like, y'all have not said anything about this. Y'all have not. So it's like a structure. We only want you to talk about this, or we only want you to talk about that. And, you know, for me, that's a problem. So then it leads people to think, it allows people to pick sides, which causes this confliction with people in society, because some people watching Fox News, some people watching CNN, and they kind of saying the same thing, but they saying a different thing.
Different points of view.
Yeah, and it gives people the opportunity to, I'm not paying attention to what CNN says, I'm only going to focus on Fox, and this is the information, and this is what I'm going to, you know, go off of and tell people about. But you have not looked at, you know, all the other sourcing. And I think whenever it comes to news and just things in the media, I take it upon myself. Yeah, I may see a post, or I may see something that's on one news channel, but I'm like, let me go look over here, because everybody don't always have a story straight. How it gets passed, I don't know. And then we have outside people, some YouTubers, all this different stuff. They want to have those platforms, and then they talking up a storm about who knows if they even talking about the right things. And so everybody gets to pick and choose what category they want to fall in, and then it just turns into, well, I don't know to believe you, because she over here saying this, and then she over there saying that. So where all of y'all getting y'all information from? What's the real deal? So I think for people that's in the media, or anybody that's pursuing it, like, have your morals set and like go for like the truth. Like, I'm not saying that to be cliche, but like look into what's really going on. Like, you can't go off one source.
And then sometimes before you go to this, just real quick, I think a lot of people is focused on who can get it out there first. So it's
That
like
too.
the first thing you hear, okay, let me write that up, let me put it out there. I was the first one to put it out there. I'm the first one who got the information. Whether it's right or wrong, you got something out there. Now people are listening to what you're saying, whether it's right or wrong. So I think that's another thing that goes with the true and the false, is the first to get it out.
Right. That's true.
I feel like with social media, people want a reaction out of folks. And we've said it multiple times, we live in a society, a generation where we're quick to react on every little thing without knowing any backstory. And
We
because
so quick.
we are, I'm going to say we, even though maybe it's not all us, but we're so naive that we're like, all right, they said it, we're going to believe it. You know what I
More
mean?
than once?
Yeah, you know,
That's that.
TMZ said it, the Shade Room said it, my best friend said it. Yup, it gotta be true. You know what I mean? So, when we're so quick and naive to believe stuff, then it's like a domino effect, you know? And so I think that's where the root of the problem is. You never, like we're saying, you never know the backstory to nothing, but somebody said it and we think it's a valid source.
Right.
Oh, we gonna react. We about to make a big deal. We about to shake some tables up. You know what I mean? And so,
We're about to get a lot of retweets off this.
Right.
We like stuff based on a quote of a tweet. Like, oh, and then if they got a check mark by it, oh yeah, we really believe it.
yeah.
Well, and it's official. Yeah, it's crazy. Gotta know the truth. Have to.
So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, half of it is true, half of it's not. And
Just look into
But
it for yourself.
it do be like our go-to for news, because you know us
'Cause we
millennials don't watch the news. We don't even know the news
Watch
channel.
Twitter.
that
And
all
no-
updates.
Nobody really gonna take the time to dig for it either, so they just gonna look, and that's why it's so important. Like, it's
Because
really
if you
important.
think about it, if a big celebrity dies, what's the first thing you go to check to see? Oh, let me go to Twitter. Let's
Is
see
it
what people saying
trending?
about it. Yeah, is it trending? You go
Like
to
when
the
Nipsey died, as a fact, I didn't go look at no news. I was like, dang, everybody talking about it. It must be true.
And nobody really got the
heavy.
backstory on
Right.
what was actually going on. There's so many different stories. This happened, that happened.
that's just the state of mind that we're in, like today. Like especially us millennials, we're just like social media enthused. Like it literally dictates our life in
Yeah.
a good ways and bad ways. Like good ways, like promoting business, anything that got to do with business. Social media, bad way, relying on it for news and stuff like that, and
Valid.
Lying.
yeah, stuff that you need to know about, but you go to Twitter to find out information about it that's coming from somebody that isn't knowledgeable about that particular thing. They're talking about politics and they're in school for fashion. Smart like me. So don't believe me when I talk about politics.
Because it's Solomon.
So speaking on social media, let's talk about the positive side. Recently, during this week, Tyler Perry opened up his new studio.
I love it.
And like, you know, just from seeing all the celebrities post, it was just so inspiring because I think they said his studio could hold 3 different three different studios.
It was like Disney,
Paramount,
Paramount, and
and,
some maybe Warner Brothers or no?
I don't know if it was Warner Brothers.
or
I
I don't know.
I forgot the last one.
So
But it
3
was 3.
studios could fit in his one studio, and I just think that was like for somebody to come from nothing, like this man was homeless. You know what I mean? Sleeping in his car.
Trying to make a living doing, you know, the shows and stuff.
And now he's providing like opportunities for not only himself but people that wants to come up. You know what I mean? Like I know that he's offering the opportunity that if you are a Georgia State film student or it's like a Georgia Academy or something like that, you can get a job. Like it's so many great opportunities that he had. He honored so many people who have done great things in the industry, and I just think like that's so inspiring, not only for people who are already there but people who are like coming up and look up to him, because it's like dang bro, you came from nothing, literally nothing, you know what I mean, and now look at you. So I don't know, like, how do y'all feel about that?
Bro, what I love about it, he capped it off on Sunday with a whole Sunday service.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, this is live.
He said this is live.
It was love. But at least he kind of gives, especially African Americans, like a sense of hope. Like, bro, we can really do what we put our minds to, no matter where you come from. Because like you said, he come from a hard background, really didn't have anything at all. Sleeping in his cars, trying to make a living. You know, portraying,
rejected from Hollywood. They did
and
not
he
want
said,
him.
He literally said he doesn't feel like he's welcomed in Hollywood. So that's why he formed his own platform.
He didn't want to conform. He didn't want to conform.
That's the part I like the most.
Yeah.
If you know me, you know I'm probably the most pro-black person
Yeah.
you'll ever meet. I'm black everything. So the way I see it, like he said, why ask for a seat at the table when we can make our own?
Because even like the stars.
That was the best part about what I saw.
Gave everybody a star that's been in all of his stuff. They didn't have to get a star in the Hollywood whatever.
He got a
Let's
little
celebrate
Walk of Hollywood, huh?
He got a little walk of stars.
Yes. Every single person
China
that's
and
been in
McClain.
any of his
I'm finna
stuff,
cry, bro.
they have a star.
There was a point in time we weren't even welcomed in Hollywood.
Like,
And I like the
Made
fact
Black
that we
Hollywood.
actually got to see it as far as him coming from nothing to this. You know,
Yeah.
That
getting a
growth.
lot-
I know y'all remember the Medea plays.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I'm saying.
Like,
I do think the
watch
plays better than the
to
movies,
the
but-
bootleg plays to the bootleg movies
To
the
shows.
to shows.
So many.
tours.
He still
It's
got
so-
some
it's
up
so
and
many-
have and have not.
Because it makes you feel better, honestly. Because we hear all these rappers, oh, I came from nothing. I came from nothing. Well, you went to charter school. I know your parents
Right.
were married. You lived in a nice
Yep.
house. You was in a nice neighborhood.
Or
but
what are
came
you
from
doing now
nothing.
for other people?
So
That's the main thing.
That right
What are
there.
you doing? What are you doing that's impacting others? That's really
Right.
gonna separate. That's the people I look up to.
And that's
like,
where the silence comes.
you
because-
almost said it.
Exactly.
Separate the good from the greats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, forget all the stuff that you can. Anybody could be clean.
Right.
I can buy Gucci. I can buy Louis. I can
Tell
buy
me why I
bust-down
shouldn't.
watch. Yeah.
How you gonna bring somebody up though? I think that's
Right.
the best part of what Tyler is doing.
Giving people opportunities.
He giving more people opportunity. Like he understands. Okay, I'm rich.
Exactly. Good
Now I'm
leaders.
finna go provide opportunity for everybody else who want to get on this
Exactly.
level too, which is that's
Exactly.
applaudable.
Because
Right
not to
there.
get religious or nothing, but it's 2 reasons why we are put on this earth, and that's to help people out and reproduce. So
Service.
Spread love.
let's
That's
fulfill
amazing.
our
And I like the level he did it on. Cause you know, a lot of times we'll
You
be
know,
like,
I-
yeah, we gonna make our own, but you know, we gonna start little and we gonna do this and eventually it's gonna get big. No, he said, you know what? I'm gonna take 333 acres from an old slave plantation or an old Confederate army base. And I don't know if y'all saw the video, but
It's pretty big.
Ava's video.
come on now.
It was like
see.
A replica of the White House.
Like how you get a replica of the White
That.
House and the Capitol? They got
Did
real
he put that?
mansions.
yes.
Yep.
gotta
It's,
see
Like
it.
the
I gotta
houses
Real
are
life.
huge.
Let me
Like,
see it.
it's huge. I gotta try to
we
find
gonna
a
pull
video.
it up.
It's a video somewhere for sure, like, cause somebody like I guess screen recorded her snap or Instagram story, and yeah,
It's on a level
It's
of something you
so
don't
amazing.
See, you don't even see like, white people
houses
doing
and
this.
Oh, he made like
studios,
houses.
yeah,
It's a
sound
whole-
stages.
It's
Just
a
imagine like a
studio.
college campus, like imagine
Basically.
UT, but bigger, and just like full of houses, studios. They got a Capitol, they got the White House. They got like a fake hospital, like all of that.
It's just on land.
one
Probably for the
It's like-
movies and
It's
stuff.
just like a little movie prop.
Yeah.
Dude.
He has like 10 different sound stages that he honored people who have done great things in the industry.
saw that.
Spike Lee.
Basically
Tyson,
saying
like,
that
yeah.
we need to, you know, go to Atlanta.
Like
to tour
appreciating
outside.
those people for paving
Basically,
the
I
way
need
for
to become
others.
an actor. Basically, I need to become an actor.
And move to Atlanta while you're there.
I mentioned in my Twitter,
Atlanta.
trying to see
Atlanta.
the barber on the
Georgia.
set.
Listen.
I mean, we can really call.
Email them something.
Tyler Perry, let us
See if
come
they need a
through.
couple
Hosts or
people to-
something. We can
Yeah.
do anything.
But hey, to everybody that's giving excuses every single day on why you can't and what's stopping you from actually, reaching your full potential in life, Tyler Perry inspired me personally, and he should inspire especially a lot of these young black men and young black ladies, women. Everybody should be like inspired by what this guy has done. It's no excuse on why you can't reach your goals.
Yeah, 'cause
And you
it's not even a man and woman thing. Like, just look at his
Somebody.
story. It's just
Right.
his story, period. Whether it's a girl, boy, man, woman, it's just a story that shot.
And you
me.
gotta
get it.
look at too. I think Tyler Perry's success comes from the people that he's put on, right? For
They've
me,
done
Tyler
so
Perry has
well.
never just took the main
People.
stage, right? He's never took the main people. I'm gonna go take this big actor or this big actress. Like,
He's
how
built
did we
people
hear about
up.
Mr. Brown?
Right.
How did we hear about what's her name?
Taraji P. Henson for one.
Yeah. What's Mr. Brown's wife?
Oh, Cora.
Yeah, Cora.
Tell my
Cora.
man.
Yeah, like these are people who were just doing music and stuff. He didn't turn into actors, actresses. It's a
And
lot
they
of people
started
that
their
he's
own little
put
thing.
on. Then they start that thing. It's a trickling effect.
Right.
And I think a lot of black people got to look at that because a lot of times we don't like to support each other. But you got to think this man started off as basically in a wig. Like he started off. That's how he started out, as the Medea, and we supported that. And now we on this level now. So it's just like anything is possible. Now you can literally do anything you want to.
literally.
He's the epitome of excellence.
Yeah, for
Support
sure.
your own people, man.
That-
Especially the fact that he didn't conform. That's what I really like about Tyler
Could've
Perry.
went Hollywood.
They wanted him in Hollywood for sure, but he said, this is against
not me.
everything that I am. This is against my religion. Because Hollywood is always known to be doing some crazy stuff. Not saying against anybody that's in Hollywood, do your thing and represent how you need to, but if it doesn't align with your morals, you don't have to do it. So I feel like that goes to play in a lot of things in life. Like, there are opportunities that's going to come your way that may not align with what you believe or what you stand for. And you don't have to get in that mindset, well, I do need some money. Well, this could help me get to be famous, or this could help me get to my goals. But if you know that it's not for you, it's only going to bring you down. So if you need to go broke for a couple more months or so, a breakthrough is going to happen, and something is going to happen. And see, it's
He was
happened for Tyler
rejected from
Perry.
Hollywood, right?
That's why I like that.
Because he didn't want to do what they wanted to
You're
do.
not gonna reject me, and when I start popping this, come, let me talk. No.
No, thank you. I
We
got
don't
it.
wanna talk.
We don't want to talk. we want to smash you now. That's
That's the main thing too. He did it in Atlanta, which is
The
you gotta think
rejected
of what Atlanta is doing right
That's the
now.
word.
Atlanta is on top.
Atlanta is basically the black Hollywood. You got people in
It
Atlanta.
really
You don't
is.
have to go move to LA to get famous. You can
Everybody
stay
in
in
Go
Atlanta
down.
and be
Atlanta.
good.
Hot Atlanta,
You
Georgia.
got your music, you
We
got
more
your
than one
actors, you got your actresses, you got
Designers.
everything you need in Atlanta. Now,
Atlanta.
if we can make other cities like that, we might eventually have our own stuff.
We can do it in
We
Dallas.
won't have to depend on them.
We sure can.
Make a Hollywood Dallas.
We can do it.
The ghetto.
It's possible.
Ghetto.
It's possible.
The
All it takes is
ghetto.
some support.
Put it in no clip.
All they do is support.
You right.
That's true.
Well,
Plus support, and the negativity gotta stop.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna. That's how it's gonna work.
I like how we on this subject about Tyler Perry. His successes, and what he did, or what motivated him to get to that level, to this level in life. But let's kind of flip it to say why we have a fear of being successful. So what's pretty much stopping us from actually reaching our full potential in life when we know we can do it, but we rather not to? And I find a lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of people
Speak it.
pretty much like failing,
What?
right? A lot of people choose
easier.
to fail because it's easier to fail because failure is easy. It's free.
Yeah.
It's free to fail.
I knew that
But
was gonna happen.
when you're successful and when you become successful, it's a cost to pay. You have more responsibility. You have more stuff that you have to do in order to pretty much maintain that level of success. When you experiencing failure, you don't have to do anything. Every single day you're gonna be living your life in failure, right? But when you're successful, you have a role to play to people. If you're a leader, leaders, the one thing that separates leaders from other people is that leaders build leaders. Leaders are impactful to people. Right, leaders are successful.
True.
Leaders pay the price to be the boss.
Okay.
And that wasn't even their most expensive purchase either.
Okay.
Right. So my question is to y'all: why do people fear being successful? Why?
I think it's two things.
Go ahead.
The first one I would say is being comfortable. When you're
Yes.
comfortable with where you at, you don't want to move up.
Right.
You good where you at. You don't have to sacrifice anything to be comfortable. You are good. You set. You like, man, I make this amount of money. I'm good. The other thing I would say is responsibility. Like Solomon said, most successful people, pretty much all successful people, it's your responsibility to bring somebody up underneath you to become successful too. But when you don't feel in your heart that you can even do that, now you probably don't even want to get to that type of successful. And it's probably one more thing I would say. I would say that the fear of failing would lead a lot of people to not wanting to become successful or not wanting to get to that level. Because you're going to go through some failures to get successful. So now you're like, do I even want to go through that?
Right.
Nah, I'm going to just sit down. I'm going to just chill right
Yeah,
here.
that's what I was gonna back though in on that. A lot of people, you might be at the same stage as somebody else, and then they go on, and then you see a lot of BS coming their way, but they got successful, but you see all that BS coming at
Yeah,
them.
I'm
You
on
like,
that.
you know what? I can stay right here without all that and still be okay. So a lot of people kind of go off of what they see from other people, and that might not be your case. If you get on that same level as them, you might not have to, experience what they did, but nobody ever knows.
I kind of want to flip y'all's opinion because I feel like some people are afraid of success because they compare themselves to other people and then doubt their ability. And then I also feel like it's like you get in your head often. It's like, nah, I can't do it. You know you have the potential to do it, but it's like, nah, I can't.
And that happens with us all.
And
That
so
happens
it,
with
like,
us
yeah,
all.
like you said, like, it literally happens to everybody. And I feel like that person, what separates you from that next person is that person went.
Went for
Yeah,
it.
you know what, they said I couldn't do it, but you know what, I believe that I can. And so I'm gonna go, I'm gonna take that leap of faith. I'm gonna just jump. Whereas the other person, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I think it's that you compare yourself to other people. Yeah, they did it. Can I do it?
Yeah.
And some
Y'all
people
finna hate me for what I'm finna say.
Go ahead.
Y'all finna hate. Solomon gonna love it.
spill it.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else finna hate me. Think about it like this. The prime example, Forex.
Tap in.
Oh, y'all hate the
Tap in today.
But
Don't
I
miss out
want
on
you
your
to think,
blessing.
because today you just said it. You just said a comparison.
Yeah.
Comparison is a thief of joy.
We talked about
Right?
this the other day.
Comparison kills.
When you think to yourself, dang, this dude just hit P1000. Dang, he just hit P2000. Dang, Tony's a chairman. Oh my gosh, he really makes 10 bands a month? Oh no, I can't do that. Right? But then you start to think, like, dang, hold on, wait a minute. Why, if he did it, why
I'm
can't
gonna
I
tap
do
in
it?
soon, actually.
Why can't we the same?
I want that extra
age,
income,
right?
additional
Yeah,
income.
Why can't I be as successful as
Residual.
him? He put in the hard work within a year, literally.
Oh, less than a year.
Less
about
than a
6
year,
months.
right? Why can't I go do the same thing? But a lot of people, for one, you're not trying to make that investment, and for two, you're comparing yourself. You're seeing these people making this amount of money and making this and doing that. You're like, you know what? Nah, I can't do that. That's for them. I'm gonna leave that to them.
Right.
Why can't you? What realistically speaking, why can you not get there?
I think oftentimes people just don't want to put in the work.
That-
If we gonna be completely honest,
want it
that
easy.
failure thing it might not even be fear of failure. It's I don't want to put in that extra work to get there. So yeah, Tony's a chairman, but that means I gotta put in more money because Tony obviously put. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not trying to go back to
No,
that,
I
but you know what I
understand
mean.
what
Like
you're
it's that I have to really get out there and bust my ass to get to what
Yeah.
I want, and I just
Right.
think
Some people just don't got it.
Yeah.
Like some people just don't got it. Like some people just don't got that drive, that ambition, that determination that some other people don't, and that's fine. You just never finna get on this level.
That
right? You never gonna reach your full potential in life because you just don't have that urge to actually want to be successful.
That go-getter mindset.
You get mad, and then it's another thing. Once you get successful, you get mad at the things that come with success. You ask for it,
Right?
Like you ask
still gonna
to
be
be
work.
successful,
Right.
That's why I want to put both of y'all things together because Shadell was saying, well, the easy part. Okay, if it takes all this to get $10,000, let me go look for something else to do that doesn't require so much work, and I can still get $10,000.
No, where you
so
gonna do
one, I look at it as a look, stop thing. So you look for something to get you $10,000. That's a little too much work. Then you look at this right here. It's still a little too much work. Then by the time you figure out that all that shit come with some work, it's like I just stop. I'm good. I ain't got
I settle for two.
We live in a lazy
That's
society.
settling.
It is lazy.
We live in a very lazy society, and I will say this, and people gonna probably not like what I'm finna say, but I don't care.
Go ahead.
I am a huge person on hard work will get you anywhere you want to get in life, so I don't believe in handouts. I don't believe in, oh, well, I work here, and they paying minimum wage, and we need to be making this amount of money instead. No. You need to work that way you can get on a level to where you can get a job that's paying you that amount to where you need to. You can't expect I'm gonna put bare minimum effort and be successful. Life does not work like that. I hate when people be the biggest thing I hate on Twitter right now is people who say, oh, these millionaires and billionaires not distributing their wealth. Trust me, if you was a millionaire or a billionaire and people was coming at you, oh my gosh, it's all these forest fires happening. And it's homeless people out here.
I mean, it's their money they work for. They're not obligated to give it to anybody.
Flying dang, like I'm not gonna give my hard-earned money to somebody who's not putting in work to be successful. If you want to be content with your life and you're fine with being here, right? Leave me and my money alone. Don't ask for my money.
Good.
We good up here. You didn't put in the work. Everybody, you have to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, you're not gonna get successful in life, and that's just that.
I think another thing that people have problems with is the fear of the unknown. Like if I go for this, I don't know what trials and tribulations I'm about to face. I don't know what I'm about to go through, so I'm just not gonna do it. And that comes into play with how you need to trust the process for one, and trust your abilities, because you're not gonna know what's gonna happen. But once you step in, get a foot in, you get another foot in, then you get another foot in, and then you just keep building. It may take you longer than the next person, but it can happen for you. You just have to keep going.
And it's funny that you say that because a lot of people just look at it as what they want to do in life or how to make money, but that's really with every single thing that goes on in your life. Like when you wake up in the morning and you leave to go to work or go to school, you do not know you're going to go to school safe. You don't know nothing.
You never know.
Honestly, you know you finna get in your car and your destination is school, but who's to say that you're going to make it there?
Right.
So that
Taking risks.
So why you can't go for it?
You don't even
Taking
understand.
to be successful.
Like even the smallest things people don't even think about, just like eating. Okay, you get up, you eat a bowl of cereal. Who's to say that you're not going to choke on that cereal and die? Nobody knows what's going to happen. So it's like the little stuff people do not think about. It's just the bigger things that we like, oh, well, I don't know what's going to happen over there, so let me not even do it. But then again, that goes to what I was going to say earlier. A lot of people get mad at the other countries for looking at us as, lazy and don't work for nothing, because it's really the truth. Like, people in them other countries, they work for everything that they got. Us, compared to them, we don't.
We expecting handouts.
We just don't. So it's like
we expect so many handouts, bro. Like, we the only country who, as kids, like, why are we getting participation trophies?
No, you did not win.
Citizenship.
anything.
Like,
Zero.
I was the type of dude when I'm growing up and I'm running summer track and stuff. I don't get me if it's anything over third place, I don't want the ribbon. My daddy not gonna like it, my mama not gonna like it, I don't like it. It's gonna go in the trash, so don't even give it to me. You're wasting it.
It's embarrassing for you to recognize me for not winning.
Exactly.
Like what?
Other countries, bro, is competition. Us in the U.S., for some reason, we believe that competition is bad and we're all equal. This,
it's feelings. It's feelings is what it is.
Too sensitive.
Yeah, it's a lot of sensitive sensitivity that goes in it because you feel like, oh, I don't want him to feel bad because he didn't get anything. Well, tell him to go get on his shit so he can be like this dude over here if
Get him
that's
in the
what he
gym.
really wants. Because my thing is, if I can tell
Start
you right now,
practicing.
and this is one of my main theories in life, I'll tell anybody, if you say, okay, I want to graduate from college, I'm gonna say, okay, well, in your situation, you're gonna have to go to school for 6 years, where he might have to go for 4. Or do you still want to go to college and graduate if it's gonna take you 6 years? If you say no, you really don't want to graduate from college.
Yep.
If you say yes, then go ahead and do what you need to do.
You gonna make that effort.
Yeah, you gonna make that effort.
You always gonna go the extra mile.
Is this what you really want to do? Because you have to be in there for six
Because like
years.
we said earlier, nobody knows.
said
Like
no.
when we graduate from high school, everybody put in their bio, like for us, for the most part, we graduated in 2016. So everybody put in their bio, oh, whatever college, 2020.
Oh, like yeah.
That's what he said for the most part.
It's some people,
something.
yeah, it's a lot of
don't
people
know
that
when.
we're gonna be in 2020 in a few months.
Apply
and
for
still some
graduation.
people still on the freshman level,
Yeah, this
sophomore level. So it's like
Take them numbers away. Just UNT. Or
yeah, so
just
you don't know. You don't know when you're gonna
in
graduate.
college.
He told me I was
I'm
gonna
going
graduate. He didn't
still.
tell me when though.
But back to the question. I think that what may be hard for some people is that they don't surround themselves with people who are winning.
right.
So it's hard when you have all these dreams and ideas and you're looking around you and they ain't doing nothing, they ain't got nothing going on. So I would say just like step out of your comfort zone and your circle to be around winners. Surround yourself with people who are doing the things you want to do.
Go getters.
Because that's the easiest and quickest way to become successful, by putting yourself around successful people.
It's contagious.
I like that. I like that you said that. And like I said, y'all finna hate me again, but back to Forex,
Go ahead.
right? if all these people, right, are together, that's
in.
motivation. Whether it be Forex, whether it be school. If you go to Harvard and you're around nothing but these smart people, you're obviously you have to raise up a level, right? You gotta do more and push more to get where you want to be.
Got to.
It's competition everywhere. So like you said,
And you
the
can
people that's
do it
around
because
you-
you're there.
Exactly. And then like my coach used to tell me, you show me your 4 closest friends, I can tell you who you are as a person. And I wholeheartedly believe that you might not be that exact person that they are.
Right.
But if your 4 friends got something going on good in their life, you're probably gonna be that 5th one. If you hang around 4 people that's broke, you probably gonna be the 5th broke one. And that's just life.
It's where you get out of your. It's where you get too far out of your environment.
If all my friends, that's why I like to have friends who gonna push me to be greater. I don't like yes men around me. Like even when it come to cutting hair, I personally don't like when people be quoting all my pictures and say, "Oh man, you cold this." I'm like, yeah, whatever.
You give him a little retweet and keep going.
Yeah, that's it. Appreciate it. Cool. But
Appreciate it.
besides that, I'm not where I want to be. So I don't need you just, you are already good. No, I'm not. I need to get better. And I feel like anybody in life, whether you doing anything, hair, makeup, school, you got a good job, you have to have somebody around you that's going to push you to be better. The more people around you is going to push you to be better, the better.
Right. That's
Because
true.
money don't stop.
It don't.
It's so much money out here.
It ain't gonna wait for
nobody's
you,
name
man.
is on
Yeah.
it. So that give me every reason to go get it. Because it ain't nobody's name on it.
So I got a good topic, man.
To close it out.
Like I told y'all before, I'm very pro-black. So this topic really pissed me off. Like to the highest level of festivity. Right? So I know y'all heard about the Amber Guyger
Yep.
trial, right? I just want to know, how do y'all feel about a judge who is a black woman,
Couldn't be me.
right, hugging and basically giving condolences and giving a Bible to somebody who was just convicted of murder, right? But not only her. Now, this other part I can't be too mad at because everybody got their own personal relationship with God. But the brother also, can we be friends? Oh, my brother wouldn't want you to go to jail. No, he probably would. But for me personally, I just think it makes us look so weak as a people.
That's it.
I think it goes back to the slavery mindset of forgiveness. And a lot of black people had this forgiveness mindset, which depending on your religion, it comes from that. Me personally, I'm not finna forgive my oppressor, and I'm not finna forgive somebody who killed my brother. I'm not finna forgive somebody that at that moment who just killed somebody that I'm close with. And I'm damn sure not finna, we can be friends. And if I'm a judge and I'm a black lady, I'm using this as a situation where I can like show our full power. Like, you finna get this 20, right? You finna get 25.
99.
Yeah, you finna get all that. And then on top of that, I watched the interview. It's a lady that was in the jury talking about, I didn't feel like she deserved all those years. I could tell that she was really feeling bad about it. Forget that, because if it was one of us, trust me, we weren't getting no hugs. They weren't fixing our hair. None of that. They was finna give us. You can't tell me we could walk in somebody's house and kill somebody and say, I thought it was my house.
See, this the thing, though. I'll start with the brother. No, the friends thing, no, I couldn't. But some people might, disagree with this part. But I feel like as far as him hugging her to forgive her, you got to look at that. When he did that, you have to look at that as closure for him. Because
that soon?
Yeah, it depends on who you are. I mean, it depends on who you are. So, like you said, you personally, and even me personally, no, we not hugging nothing. I'm not forgiving you then and there.
He's way closer to God than I am.
Yeah.
Honestly,
right. So at that point, it's like for him, it was like, you know what? This might be the closure that I need to keep going. Because if he stops, it's like that was in vain for his brother.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of move past that. Now, anybody else? Yeah. I don't feel like I would have forgave her that quick or whatever the case was. But that's the brother. Now the judge, it's the system. So I feel like with the system, to me, kind of really no matter your religion, your ethnicity, none of that, the system is the system. Mm-hmm. So with her doing that, everybody, oh, she a black judge, does it? Well, she's a judge in that system.
But you got to think too. When do we separate church and state? We can't go pray in the morning at school over the announcements, but as a judge, I can give this woman who just murdered somebody a Bible and hug them. Have you ever seen any black dude get hugged by a judge after a murder?
Have not.
Ever. So why is she an exception?
I'll say some may not like me for this, but I really don't care. In a way, I see where you coming from, MJ, and I see where you coming from, Kelvin. I feel like for me, and maybe others that may agree or disagree, doesn't matter. But you're right about the brother giving her a hug. I will say for me, because I'm not even going to act like, for me, I don't know if I could have done it because I would have been in so much pain, so much hurt. But looking at that, it really opened my mind to like a more outer perspective, because from a religious standpoint of my own, I feel like there's nothing that the family, anybody could have done. Your brother is now dead because of this woman. They sentenced her to whatever they was going to sentence her. I already knew they wasn't going to give her a lot. I was hoping for it, that she would serve and it would be equal, but we don't live in an equal world. We don't. So I already knew. I thought they was probably going to give her 5 years. That's probably what she's going to serve. But for the brother to give her a hug, sometimes that's all he could do as acceptance, as closure, and as showing grace. Because I'm a strong advocate for it's out of our control. Mm-hmm. It's out of our control for everything. But I do serve a higher God, and you will be dealt with in due time, whether it's now, it don't have to be with the sentence. You gonna feel something, or you gonna get something, whether it's generational, whether it's with your kids, your mama, your father, your grandparents, something it is gonna get you, unless she does her own healing, whatever it is, but it's gonna come through. So all I can do is give it to God. I feel like that's where he was coming from with that standpoint. And seeing that, it really made me turn my anger somewhere else. And it made me like calm down on the situation. And for the judge, for one, I will say, speaking from like her occupation, I don't think any judge should really have any encounterment. You get your sentence, you do your whatever, and on to the next case. So that's where I was on that. I feel like, because you can't be biased, because like we said, we don't see that with other people, or so you just, it's one of those things you can't do. So it hasn't been expressed in the media, but who knows if she got dealt with for that in a way, or who knows. But I feel like you can't do that in court. You can't make those interactions. But on the other side, she said she was a Christian lady. That's how, I can't go against how God speaks to other people. So I can't even speak on how she felt at the moment, what she saw that I didn't. So I'm like, look, if that's what you feel like you needed to do, I still believe that this lady's gonna get dealt with. So y'all do what y'all feel like y'all need to do. If that's how God spoke to y'all, cool. But all I know is she gonna get dealt with in the long run. And like it says in the Bible, for some like me, you don't have to. You do or you agree, you don't. But vengeance is mine. Says the Lord. Vengeance is mine. So it ain't nothing nobody on this earth can do about this girl, her situation, anything. But I know that she will be dealt with, like I said. That's just me. I
like how you brought up religion in this. I'm finna get really deep with y'all. There it is. I want y'all to go deep with me.
Okay.
I'm finna take y'all to deep waters, and I need y'all to stay with me, right?
Life jackets.
I need you to put it on.
HeSaySheSay Missionary Baptist Church.
Here we go.
I want us to think right now, right? As a black people, are we conditioned to have this forgiveness? We have been taught to forgive them for slavery. We have been taught to forgive them for everything that happened during the Civil Rights Movement. We have been taught to forgive them for everything else that's been going on. But then, on the flip side, let's look at 9/11, right? Every single year since 2001, they have brought up something about 9/11. I don't know too many people have just forgave the terrorists that did that. But us as a people are expected, we just gonna forgive them because that's them. They got to do that. Why is it we got to be the bigger person? Why is it that we have to be the forgiving ones? Why is it that we gotta? Oh well, he did this to our brother, but that's okay because God's gonna take care of him. Me personally, I'm more on the side of like I'm on the Malcolm X side. I'm a little far from a MLK.
Oh, most definitely.
I'm more closer to a Malcolm X.
I don't have a dream because
I'm more like let's take this into our own hands because obviously, right, we've been marching for years, ain't nothing happened.
Nothing.
Obviously, our minds have been enslaved for years, ain't nothing happened. When do we get to the point where we say, you know what? I'm not going to forgive you for this. I don't care about none of that other stuff. I understand what the Bible says and stuff like that. Cool. Understandable. But at the end of the day, you're not just going to keep doing something to me and you know what, I'm going to forgive you. You know what, police brutality, that's cool. I'm going to forgive you because he was just one bad cop. No. Eventually, we're going to have to take something into our own hands because until then, nothing's going to change. And that's why I'm so mad about this situation because we had it. Like, we got the witness. Like, he just said something. We got the brother there, the jury. It was everything there for us to say, we finna show you what happens when you deal with us in this type of way. We gonna give you 20. We gonna give you 25. But no, we want to give hugs and play with your hair during the trial. And we want to, but it's going to be okay. We going to give you a Bible. When you go to jail, you're going to be out in 5. No, we had the perfect opportunity to set an example, but instead, us as a people, again, let's just keep forgiving. We going to forgive you again. Why?
I think a lot of people felt the same way as far as we got them where we want them because the person who make the shot, who called the shots, was one of us.
Yeah, because I definitely don't agree with the sentencing. Like she definitely should have got way more than that.
Yeah, it's like at that point, it's like we got everything that we needed to fuel or whatever that we needed to fuel. Right. But this is just my personal opinion of what I think. I feel like that judge was paid. You call it how you, what you want to, call it what you want. But I feel like they had to give her that because me knowing this, a lot of people don't know this, but 10 years in prison is not really 10 years in prison with good behavior.
It's
and that's
5.
what, and that's what they're what they're banking on with her. That's and actually, the best behavior in prison with a 10-year sentence is more like 3.5, 4 years. So it's like that's not even really justice, honestly. I mean, yeah, you get the justice of locking her up, but it's not for the time that she needs to be in there versus somebody that looks like one of us. Now, with your deepness, I can go a little bit deeper with you.
I'm gonna take it there next. I'm gonna go there.
I feel like they want us to continue to forgive and forgive and forgive simply because we are the ones that it's happening to. Mm-hmm. So whites and Mexicans or whatever other race, they don't have to deal with everything we deal with. So they want us to continue to forgive because it's going to continue happening to us. So with that, it's like, okay, well, like you said, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, kind of two different sides right there.
I'm over here.
Yeah, it's like
I'm with the let's go. We about that action. We not just finna sit back.
About
and,
that life for sure.
And see, I feel like at that point, it needs to be enough of us that's on that side so they can see how serious that we are.
It's not though. You know why it's not? Our minds are on forgiveness. Our minds are automatically set up to where if something happens to us,
hey, let me say something real quick.
We gotta forgive them.
All right, bet. So this is gonna hurt a little bit. Everybody take a deep breath. All right, bet. So if we want to kind of keep it in a religious perspective, right? We're called to forgive. It doesn't matter what the situation is.
It don't matter the color.
Let's not have self amnesia, right? I mean, yeah. Let's not have amnesia, right? Let's not forget that we needed to be forgiven at one point.
Right.
We as black people, we have messed up in some areas of life. And we beg for forgiveness in the areas that we, suffered in. And we needed that forgiveness. So let's not live under our hut and wait for God to judge somebody immediately due to the fact that we need it, right now. Just because judgment isn't served immediately on the wicked doesn't mean it's going to not be served at all.
Right. That's true.
All right,
like
solid. Right.
It's going to come one day. So let's not operate in an area that's not like us. We're always supposed to be the bigger person because that's what we're called to be. Let's not operate outside of that, and let's not work in a discord because you're going to have people that's operating out of forgiveness, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're not doing it to say, okay, what you did is okay. It's not okay.
We loving on the white girl.
It's not okay. We're forgiving you because that's our purpose in life to do. Even though what you did to us was wrong, we're forgiving you, not for you, but for us. Because we know that this happened in the past, and we know we have to continue with our daily life every single day, whether it's with or without our significant other. We can't dwell on a certain situation that happened in the past forever. We have to move on. We have to. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to mourn, right? But we have to keep going with life because we ourselves have a life to live, and we have a certain assignments to do on earth, so that.
And then just because
weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. So at that point, it's like you got to understand that I know we've all heard this from a lot of different people. God would not put more on you than you can bear. So with the black community, I feel like if you really think about that saying and look at the black community, the black people are really more the strongest people in the world.
Right.
Like black people are the strongest people in the world. So you see all this stuff happening, you're like, dang, why is this just black people? Why don't have it to the white people? Why don't have it to the Chinese people? Because we're the ones who can take it. So like Solomon said, you just got to sit back and believe what's going on is for your own good later up down the line.
But the thing is,
it sounds good.
The thing is, just because
it sounds good.
It sounds good,
but here's the thing, people.
I know what we're doing.
Sorry.
When are we going to be like, you know what, we have been doing this for 300, 400 years. When are we going to say, you know what, we've been forgiving for a long time.
But the thing is, it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening no matter what.
It's the same thing with you. You start cutting, you wasn't as good as you wanted to be. You probably said to yourself,
I've been doing this for 400 years.
But listen, that's what I'm saying. It's not a time frame. It's not a time frame.
With our people?
It's not.
With our people, Kelvin, think about this. Since we've been in America as a people, right? We have been forgiving for years, right? No matter what has happened to us, You wanna spray us with water hoses. Cool, we gonna forgive you. You want dogs biting us. Cool, you finna beat us. You finna lynch us. It's okay, we gonna forgive you. Why do we not have this mindset of, you know what? We can forgive you, cool, but we still gonna make some action. I think a lot of black people have.
Well, you
this,
can do
we
that.
Just gonna forgive and not take no action.
You know why?
It would have been perfectly fine for him to forgive her, and that judge to say, you know what, we forgive you, but we still gonna give you 30 years.
But just because the sentencing wasn't up to par on what we personally wanted, doesn't mean that action isn't being taken. You got to think. Things like this are gonna continue happening. Point blank. Period. It's this world is so wicked. It's gonna get worse. Actually, it's gonna get real worse. So the thing is, it's not that we haven't been forgiving and sitting back not doing anything. We have been doing things. We've marched, like you said.
But here's the thing.
We've done all these
People,
different
they
things.
speed walking. I don't
What
think
is
that.
marching?
I don't think
It's
marching
people
is-
with guns, and we are marching. We have been marching since a long time,
And the thing is,
nothing has happened.
it's still going to get
That
worse
just
because we
shows
have our
united
own.
front. That doesn't do
We have our
anything.
We
own
just gonna keep
conflict in our own
marching.
community.
What other races out here marching?
Hold on. Let me.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm down to take it there.
Hold on.
We'll take
We
it.
already in the ocean.
This
We
is-
are, you know, we keep
We have our own conflicts
what
within
other
our own.
race-
We
what other
shooting
races
each
are
other.
Listen,
Come on, let me untalk.
We shooting each other.
Think about it like this.
Come on.
At some point, and it has already happened, and I'm gonna let you know where it happened. At some point, somebody has to take the shots for somebody else to go through that path. Now I'm gonna tell you why. Look. Are we allowed to use the same bathrooms as white people right now? That's a yes or no.
That's a yes.
Was it like that back then?
No.
Somebody had to stand and somebody had to march for that to become something that we can do now. That's small to
had a
us
black
now
president?
because we didn't have. Wait,
All that.
listen.
Do you believe that we have equality?
We don't fully know.
So
but
all
look,
of that, I
we're
understand what
climbing
you're
the ladder.
saying.
We have climbed the
been
ladder.
climbing the ladder for 20
We gonna
200
continue
years.
climbing the ladder.
We're just gonna keep climbing and climbing and climbing.
Yup.
But dang, when are we gonna get there?
Dang, we might not even be on this earth
that's
when
the
we
thing.
get there.
That's the
That's the
Because we're
thing.
not gonna get there. We just marching. We just
But
talking.
it's not gonna happen
Let's put some
today.
action behind this.
Protest and, you know.
What is this protest?
that
Looking at
thing.
us like, come on now, like
Here they go
still
again.
marching.
I'm finna talk about Jesus.
But what we gonna do? Kill them?
that's
Because
the
then
point
what
I'm
we
making.
look like?
I'm saying,
shit.
okay, here's the thing. We have to put ourselves in position
All right.
to where we have our own. We're not having to depend on them for anything, right?
Right.
I watch Killer Mike a lot. You talk about segregation and desegregation and stuff and how we as a people think that was good for us. If we think deeper into that, just think really deeper into that. When we desegregated schools, a lot of the money that was in black schools now went to those white schools. Now the inner city black schools had no money. So now we're thinking, oh my gosh, we get to party and get to go to these bathrooms in school with the white folks. Let's look at what's happening in our own communities when they do that to us, right? So now
That's true.
we thinking we going somewhere. We ain't really going nowhere. We got somewhat of some equality. We can use the bathroom with them. Okay, cool. We can drink out of a water fountain with them. Cool. We can go to school with them. Let's look at our race as us, right? Look at what we are going through, right? A lot of our inner city schools don't have no good funding because now all of those kids are going to these suburban schools, right? Right? So now we like, okay, well, we equal and we doing this, we doing that. If you really sit here and think, it was somebody who just was sitting on his couch and got shot in his home. And she got 10 years, but we preaching, oh, that's okay, because we making steps. How long we gonna be making steps for before we be like, you know what? No, we finna put a foot down. We finna start our own stuff. We finna do our own stuff. Because obviously this system is not created for us.
No,
obviously we
that's
finna
true.
just keep on marching and marching and marching, right? We did all that to march for what? To use the bathroom with some folks?
And that's why I want to. That's why I want to go with this. I'm gonna have a statement and I'm gonna have a question for you.
Okay.
You kind of just answered your own questions a while ago. Now, once you come from the bottom, you have to take those steps. It is no timetable on this. I understand you keep saying
ain't.
400 years, 500 years. It's no timetable for this because, like she said, like Brittany said. It might be a day that we're no. Well, no. It might be a day where none of us are alive when we do get that equality that we are looking for. But nobody has a timetable for that. So
That's why we gotta keep-
listen.
This is a quick question.
Go ahead.
This is really quick. This is really quick.
quick.
Kelvin, please tell me, Kelvin. Black people have been here for over 400 years, right?
Correct.
it was Chinese people, Irish people, people from overseas that only came over here in the early 1900s. How in the hell do they have better opportunity than us? And we have been here for 400 years plus.
We got our own problems.
Right? They come over here and create their own system. They have Chinatowns. It's places where they put their money into their own people. They don't have to depend on no white person for nothing because they have their own stuff. They get their own bank loans. They're able to set up their
Black
own
people
businesses.
not gonna do that though.
Right?
Yeah,
We've been here for 400 years.
Hold on.
You know why we're not gonna do that? Because we still marching. We want to be at the
We
white
still
man's
competing
table.
with each other though. We got our own stuff.
Do you see any Chinese people talking about equal rights and stuff for them? They setting up their own table. They getting loans from their own country to come over here and set up their own nail shops, own businesses, gas stations, stuff like that. But we over here still marching.
And I'm glad you went there. I'm glad you
We
went
ain't
down
marching,
that
we
street.
killing
Now
each
I'm
other.
finna meet you at the intersection. The thing that
When we gonna get to the destination?
The thing that
That's what I want to know.
it's not a timetable for that.
If they did,
killing each
it's
other.
It's 2019, right? If they came over here in the early 1900s and they sick, they are good. But we've been here for 400 plus years. We are keeping ourselves oppressed.
That's why I'm
That's
going
true,
to where I'm
right.
going with you. You just said the Chinese come over here doing this, they doing this, they doing that. We were already picked. That's the thing. If you think about it, we were already picked. Black people have been picked. So once we have been picked for the people to down us and do whatever they do to us, we're picked. Ain't no going back. Ain't no choosing a Mexican. Ain't no choosing a Chinese person. We've already been picked, MJ. That's the thing.
Irish people came over here.
We're
and
not. They're not worried about them because if they were, they wouldn't have been able to
They
come
were
over here.
being
We are
racist
the
towards
ones.
Irish people. They were being racist towards. Everybody was
History
getting.
lesson.
Everybody was
Been
getting
real.
put in a box, right? We are the only ones that still have not came out of that box because we're still trying to get a place at this table that was not made for us. We don't have any. Atlanta is probably the only really black town that has a lot of black businesses and stuff going on. They have a lot of stuff going on. It's so many Chinatowns. It's so many Mexicans, for instance. I applaud Mexicans that because they come over here and they set their own stuff up to where they can work.
They do.
They're not asking no white person for no money because they know how to make their own, right? Us as black people, we steady trying to, we gonna merge, we trying to get to them, we trying to get on their level, we gonna forget them, we gonna do this. No, let's stop that and let's look at what these other races are doing and figure out why we still oppressed, but they somehow can come over here 300 years later than us and have a better lifestyle than us.
If you really want to go down that road, you got to take it. Let's take it race by race. If that's what you want to do.
Well,
That'll be all night.
So long story. Let's just wrap
Bring
it
it
up.
around.
What would be the steps from here?
The steps from here, we need to start. Education is key, and I'm not talking about just college. I'm talking about education at home, right?
Right.
I have been doing like my own research, thinking of ways to build credit, to leverage your credit, right? We're not gonna have no money in our community unless we have our own businesses, unless we have our own communities, right? Think about this, for instance. And with business, if you trying to own a business, right? A lot of the times you're gonna have to apply for credit. You're gonna have to do something credit wise. When do we learn about credit?
Really, till you get to college.
I'm gonna
Unless
answer your
you're
question with a question.
till you get actually
When
grown.
do we care to know?
That's the thing, though. Other races, they teaching their kids that at an early age. It's people coming out of high school, 18 years old, with a 700 plus credit score. They're able to go start their own business. The only thing the black community is telling our kids, hey, you need to go to college and try to find a good job. Obviously, that ain't working for us because if you go to college and try to find a good job, now you're still up underneath somebody else's business. You've been in their own dream, right? You're not doing nothing for your community specifically.
So we just need to believe. We need to take Tyler Perry, who led by example.
Exactly.
He made his own table instead of him sitting at Hollywood's table. So the black community needs to just
and we need to look at the school system too. It's a lot of us that are sending our kids to private schools and stuff outside of our city, which is cool because sometimes the funding for that specific school in your area might not be good. But if you look at it, if you're paying your tax dollars towards this school, why are you sending your kids outside of that school? Right? At the end of the day, if a kid want to get a good education, you got the resources to get a good education. You're gonna have your books. It's on you to learn. You're not thinking like, dang, I gotta go to this school. I'm gonna be smart at this private school. No, if you smart, you are smart no matter what.
Right. Educate each other and lift each other up, black people.
All I
Let's
know
do
is
it.
them 400 years is up. Black people, it's time to wake up.
And our time is too.
Come on.
It's time to wake up.
We gotta get it out here, man. We gotta have our own.
All right, so that's it for today's show.
Yes,
Thank you guys for
it is.
listening.
We got some good footage.
Make sure you tune in and watch us next Wednesday at 7:30. And also make sure you follow us on our Instagram, HeSaySheSay Radio, and our Twitter, HeSaySheSay Crew. That's it, guys.
Yeah, see y'all later.
It's a wrap.
We got London on the train. They be like, ooh, ooh. She say, he say, he rock. How that sound?